Hi mathematicians. Today we're going to be using place value to compare large numbers. So how do we compare large numbers? Let's look at these numbers on the screen. We have the one on the left, 98,989, and the one on the right, 98,899. So let's first think about what does each digit mean. And we're going to use our knowledge of place value to help us. So in the ones place, we have a 9. So that means 9 ones, or 9. If we expand and move to the tens place next, we know that the digit 8 is there, and it's in the tens place, so that means 8 tens, or 80. If we move to the hundreds place, we have 9 hundredths, or 900. The value of the 8 would then be 8 thousandths, or 8,000. And finally, our largest place value in this number is in the 10 thousandths, and we have a 9, so it would be equal to 90,000. So let's think, when we're comparing large numbers, should we start with the smallest place value in the ones place, or should we start with the largest place value? If you said when we're comparing numbers, we need to start the largest place value, you are correct. When we are comparing large numbers, we want to start with our largest place value. So we would want to look and start all the way over to the left in the 10 thousandths place. All right, let's compare. The value of the 9 in our first number is 90,000, as we already expanded. If we look over to the number that we're comparing to, we see that there's also a 9 in the 10 thousandths place, also equal to 90,000. So next we're going to move to the thousands place. We have an 8 in the thousands place, so that would be 8,000. And again, in our second number, we have an 8 in the thousands place, would be 8,000. If I move to the hundreds place next, keep moving to the right, we see that in our first number, we expanded this to 900. In our second number, it is 800. So we can stop there because we have a difference. The 10,000s value was the same, the thousands value was the same, but the hundreds value is different. And we see that 900 is larger than 800. So that tells us that our first number is larger than our second. Now, we want to make sure when we are writing the symbol that the symbol is open, the greater than symbol is open to our largest number. So now we need to go back and we can read this number sentence. This number sentence reads as 98,989 is greater than 98,899. All right, let's try one more example. So again, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write out our number in expanded form. 3 ones, we do not have any 10, so we don't have to record that. 800, the value of the 6 is 6,000, the value of the 7 is 70,000, and the value of the 3 is 300,000. All right, so since we are ready to compare the numbers, and whenever we compare numbers, we're always going to start over to the left. So if we look at our very first digits, the largest place value in our second number, we see that 3, and the value of the 3 is 300,000. They are the same, so we're going to keep moving to the right. Our next largest digit is a 7. The value of that 7 is 70,000. Again, our two numbers have the same value for that 10 thousandths place. Let's move to the thousands place. We have a 6. The value of the 6 is 6,000. Same over here. The value of the 6 is 6,000. So we're going to keep moving. We move to the hundreds place. We have an 8. The value of an 8 is 800. And again, they're the same. We move to the tens place. We have 110, so that's equivalent to 10. In our first number, we had a 0 in the tens place. So we had 0 tens, and the value was 0. So that tells us that our second number is larger than our first number. So we're going to write our less than symbol, making sure that the opening is going towards the larger number and the point is going towards the smaller number. You can always think of an alligator's mouth, and it wants to open wide to the number that is the greatest. Then if we go back and read this statement, we would say 376,803 is less than 376,817. So you're probably wondering, why do we need to compare numbers? And where would we compare numbers in the real world? So in the real world, there's a lot of places where we use large numbers. Some examples are attendance at large venues like concerts and sporting events, kind of like you see on the screen. When we're talking about populations, as well as we're talking about money values, perhaps movie sales or business sales. So those are some instances where you would see really large numbers, where numbers have to be compared on a regular basis. All right, friends, today you're going to be using your knowledge of place value in order to compare some really large numbers.